Welcome to the HarvestNet podcast, where we discuss topics such as leadership, ministry, and church planting, as we aim to fulfill the Great Commission together through relational connections. HarvestNet International is a global network that exists to network and equip frontline workers for World Harvest. It is our hope to see the gospel preached in all nations and to partner with others who share the common goal. We hope this podcast will encourage, equip, and empower you. For more information on HarvestNet, feel free to visit our website at harvestnetinternational.com.
Hi, everybody. Barry Whistler here with HarvestNet International and a podcast, and we are in Africa. We've been in 5 nations for one thing or another. We did some touring, saw some animals, but we've also spent most of our time right here in Zambia at the HarvestNet Africa Summit. We've had pastors here from many African nations, and we had a good time. But this year we brought 2 couples from Pennsylvania with us. I think for both couples it was their first time in Africa. So we have Barth and Linda Bailey to my left here, immediate left, and on the other side we have Claire and Gail Weaver, both from Ephrata, Pennsylvania. So I just thought it'd be good for folks around the globe with HarvestNet to hear a little bit about what your experience was. If you compared it with your expectations of what you thought the trip would be like, what was your experience like when you actually got here in the continent?
Well, I would say I was surprised how large the country is. You look at the thing about the United States, I think that's a fairly large country, but to get to Africa, it's like a lot of land. So that was one of the things that really impressed me on that. As far as an expectation, I didn't realize the people here are so hospitable. It's just, they give a lot out of what they have, and it's very impressive.
Yeah. And we only were in a small portion of southern Africa. It's an immense continent. Yes. So
Immense.
Anybody else?
I think, having been on a number of trips, I try to go in without a lot of expectations, but it is always different. A couple of things stuck out for me on this trip. First of all, the fun parts, obviously, we're going to see the animals and some of the safari parks. What an experience. It's something we always wanted to do. Didn't realize how massive those animals are, and it really is something to see them in person. In terms of the conference, there were a couple of things that stood out for me. African worship, I really enjoyed. I think I was impressed with the desire I saw on the leaders' parts, on partners, the desire to lead themselves to really embrace the values of HarvestNet. So that's something that stood out.
Yeah, very good. For anybody, was there a specific moment at the summit that stands out to you that was special, important, meaningful, impressive?
Well, I know for me, just touching on what Barth said about the African worship, oh my goodness, we had our own twin sister of CeCe Winans. Just amazing, amazing singer. And just their worship, it's enthusiastic to say the least. It's amazing. But then, the speakers we had and listened to it left me Africa has amazing pastors, amazing leadership in place just with what we saw at the conference, and very encouraged. It was a very encouraging time.
I think for me, one of the great highlights that I will treasure is when the women separated from the men and we ate lunch together. And it was just a beautiful time. But one of the pastor's wives, and I don't remember her name, she invited me to sit with her, and we just talked about being women who have raised a family, but yet who struggle and who know that we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. And every morning we get up, we get going. And for her, she was just really blessed that I, halfway around the world, was just sitting, eating lunch with her.
Yeah, very good. So just from what you saw in these 2 weeks, how would you say HarvestNet is impacting the pastors? How would you think you're impacting them in their churches?
I think the one thing is it seems you bring the different pastors from around the area together, and I could tell there's a real bonding. It really is like bringing a family together, almost a family reunion a little bit. And you can see that the relationships they're building are just long lasting, and they're true relations.
Yeah,
And
that's
equipping.
good.
And they
Equipping.
care for each
Whipping.
other. They really do care for each other
Yeah.
deeply, like brothers
Yeah.
and sisters.
I think one thing that did surprise me was some of the sessions, how open they were. There was a session on vulnerability. There were sessions on relationships and marriage, and particularly the marriage sessions were very just people really sharing their hearts of their struggles, not sugarcoating anything, but really giving testimony to what the Lord does. Again, I think it speaks to hunger on the African leaders' parts for real substance. So, yeah.
That's great. I know from my perspective, it's been gratifying just to see the way they've embraced the values and the way they're just moving forward and building the relationships, being authentic. It's very good to watch. Any particular stories from discussions with pastors you wanted to highlight?
The only thing that stuck out to me, I believe, was what Raymond was talking about, is ordinary people. Once you get to start, talking to the pastors and the people, it's like you realize that the people are the same throughout the world. Like
Sure.
they live across the world from us, but they have the same struggles as we do and have the same joys. And I think that's one thing that really stood out to me.
Very good. So would you say that how did the trip shape your own faith or perspective as a Christian? Did it have any impact personally? I know you said you enjoyed the worship. That was engaging, but anything else that stands out?
I think anytime you can come on these trips and get out of your normal environment, I think it just gives you an appreciation for how vast the world really is. That the United States is just a part of that equation. It tends to eclipse everything when we live in the States, but it's a big world out there. And I never regret any time I take advantage of an opportunity to get out there and see it.
I know for me, this is just, again, it's our first time in Africa. It shapes your perspective again. It just kind of, I feel like it kind of resets you a little bit to truly, you see how blessed we really are in the States. And then, I mean, we've seen everything from absolute beauty to extreme poverty,
Sure.
all in the span of these 2 weeks. And it's just been amazing that there's still people who live in grass huts and don't have clean water, and how they survive, I don't know, but they do.
Yeah.
So it's just a great way to shape a worldview and see the world. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I didn't point out a highlight of the trip for me personally, and that was I helped to facilitate a well through HarvestNet at a very remote village in the bush. It was an interesting journey out there. I wasn't sure our vehicle was going to make it, but it did. But this village had just the only water source was some stagnant water that was dry for 3 months of the year. Anyway, the joy in that village, the dancing, it was genuine, it was spontaneous, it was very special to see.
And that water well was just, I closed my eyes and I can see the beauty, the silver, and all them African people who had no water. They are very grateful for running water, and I will never forget that. The ladies were thanking us immediately when we got off the bus. And this is just water that you and I just turn our spigots on and water flows. We flush a toilet. These guys had nothing, and something I will not ever forget. It was just amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I think we have some footage of them singing and dancing. And, it made me happy just to see how happy they were by getting the water, something very simple like that. And it expresses the love of Christ, I think, to give them something like that. Anything about African culture that surprised you? It is different than the U.S.
I think I mean, it is different, but yet we are all people, and the hospitality that they gave us, it's the little things from a hug to just anything. I don't even know to begin to say, but it just really, we're all people and we all live in this universe together.
If there was, can you list one thing that, if you could improve what HarvestNet does in Africa, how we're serving them, is there any way that you saw that we could improve our work?
So again, as a first timer to Africa and not maybe being as familiar with the geography of it all and all the names of all the towns and cities and all that, I said a map. I would like a map of where everybody came from, maybe even just where HarvestNet even is, where we have your partners, just to kind of see, have a visual of, exactly where all we have an impact.
No, that would be great.
Yeah.
I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
So, what would you tell somebody from HarvestNet family who is considering a trip like this?
Just do it.
Do it.
Don't think about
Yeah, yeah. I was going to say, the exact words I was going to say is just do it. Time goes flying by, and if you don't say, "Hey, we're gonna move forward with this,"
Yeah.
it's one of the things you won't regret. It'll change you.
Yeah.
And it's somewhat like looking at a picture. It's 2D, but when you actually get out and about people, it almost turns it into a 3D experience. The smells, just everything about it, everything comes to life.
Has to be experienced
Exactly.
in person.
Words do not describe
Yeah.
it.
Words don't,
That's
the
true.
pictures don't describe
Right.
either.
They never do they? Yeah. So, you enjoyed the animals?
Loved it.
Oh,
Yeah. It's unique.
Loved it.
Go
The
ahead.
giraffes were my favorite. I think.
giraffes?
Yes. They're very curious. They're very friendly. They have big eyelashes. They just kind of have this curious gaze. They stare at you, but they were all great.
Yeah.
I would say the animals were really awesome, but the one thing was the falls was something that really surprised me, and the power and how it was sunny out, but depending where you were at, felt like a downpour.
Yeah.
And it was just, that was amazing, and the noise.
With rainbows down in the gorge.
It was
instead of
rainbows
looking
in the
up.
gorge. It's just really something to see.
For those listening on the podcast, the summit this year was held in Livingston, Zambia, which is right at Victoria Falls. It's named after David Livingstone, the famous missionary. So we took an afternoon trip out to see the falls. It was quite an experience. One of the 7 wonders of the world. Yeah.
Just growing up on the farm, I just loved all the animals. They were just beautiful. But I think about the elephants and how they protected their young. Moms would put 3 of them between them and kind of almost smush them. But that was just to protect them from any predators. And I'm not going to lie, I love the warthogs. They have a little tail that looks like an antenna. And then suddenly they take about 15 steps and they stop and they run in a circle and they forgot why they're running. So it's just, and our guide said he likes them because it looks like they have vests and bow ties on.
That's funny. Anything else about the trip you'd like to tell anybody back home or around the world?
Just
No regrets.
Yeah, no regrets. Okay. Well, thank you for coming along. I'm glad you did enjoy it, and thanks for your feedback. It's
Thank you.
helpful.
thank you
I
for
guess.
the invite.
Thank you.
Yeah. And to everyone listening, we probably will do another trip to Africa in the future. So if you're interested, let us know. We'd love to take you along. And the goal is we try to do a trip that's enjoyable, but also get you along with our churches and pastors so you can experience the work we're doing and experience what God's doing in another continent far away.
Can I say something quick?
Of course.
One thing I did forget is we went to Raymond's new church, and I did not know about that, and that was awesome because he's expecting 1,000 people, and I believe it will happen. I
Sure.
really do.
Yeah, it will. She's speaking of Raymond Mwenga's church in Eswatini. That was our first nation that we visited to. And the church is full. They're growing, strong church, a great church, and they're building a new building that will seat about 1,000. So we went to visit it, and the concrete slab is finished and the steel structure and roof is on. They're still in the process of finishing it, but I'm pretty excited for them, for what will happen. And with me right now is Carlo Cordomanavo from Bulgaria. He's a pastor there in Sofia. And I just thought you might enjoy hearing his perspective. Carlo, you've been with us in India twice, 3 times?
3 times.
3 times. So he's done some traveling around Europe and other places. First time to Africa, though,
First
right?
time.
So what were your impressions compared to what you expected, and what was your experience here?
Well, it's a very different culture.
It is.
And we are here only for, I don't know, for like 6 days, 5, 6 days, something like that.
Something
But
like that.
you know, I'm so impacted by everything. By the people, very simple,
Yeah.
very authentic, genuine. I really like
Right.
that, because I really like nations, and then the nations, and then Africa is such a big continent. I think it's 3
massive.
times Europe.
Is that right?
Yeah, 3
Yeah,
times Europe,
I
the size
believe
of
it. I
Europe.
believe it.
And you know, just to know that you're just in a little corner somewhere, and that's not even the whole of Africa. Amazing,
Yeah.
and some, the people and the pastors that were part of the summit, amazing leaders,
Yep.
and then I get to know some of the people here, like Dawn and Sue. And Dawn, she's like been healed for I don't know how many years and helping so
I
many
think she's
people.
been here 40, 41 years or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
I just only yesterday I understood that like she's giving job to like 140 people,
Yeah.
women.
Amazing work. she did.
Amazing to
Yeah.
see what God is doing here. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in Livingston, Zambia. We did get into Botswana and Zimbabwe a little bit just
Yeah.
to see some animals, but the summit was in Zambia here for 3 days, 3.5 days.
Yeah.
Any impressions or stories? What was meaningful to you about the summit and the teaching?
Well,
what we
just seeing these leaders,
did? Yeah.
and life is not easy in Africa,
True.
and the challenges they have to overcome. Like India, I mean, like I talked to some of the pastors, they would be living with the money under $100 per month,
Wow.
and then they're doing missionary work and planting churches. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
And then on another level, it's the Victoria Falls. I was well, I read about this. I kind of did some kind of a research about this, but nothing like when you get there and just see
You have to experience it, don't you?
the vastness and the hugeness. Yes.
Right. It is amazing.
Yeah. And one last thing that really impacted me was we went to this village.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I
tell
know
them
some
about
people
that.
from the HNI. They help with drilling a well, and that's like somewhere in the bushes, and they don't have no running water. They have no electricity. And to me, just to go there and see like what HNI is doing, they're helping to drill this well, and see people being so happy, women and kids,
Yeah.
and that made a huge impact. And what I understood is like people really came to know Christ as a result of this.
Yeah.
But I was really struck by the poorness. They were so poor, and they were at the same time so happy and thankful and grateful for this well. And we can never probably understand what that is, but
No, I
it's
don't know if we
amazing.
could. I think we told them, we talked a little bit about living water and told them we did it because Jesus loved us. And so I think it was as impacting on us as it was to them. I mean, they were thrilled to have the water. In fact, they were singing a song that God loved us first. They just repeated that over and over. I think
Exactly.
it sounded impromptu, but
Yes.
it impacted all of us,
Yeah,
didn't it?
yeah.
Very touching. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I will
Well-
also want to encourage you, come next year if you have the heart for the nations, come to Africa. It is worth it. I love the nations. To me, this is an incredible experience to see the beauty and the what God is doing in the different nations. So I'm so encouraged, Barry.
Yeah, very good. Well, Ilya's running the camera. Carlos here talking to me. And I'm really glad you guys came along.
Yeah.
I think you're both going out to the village this
Yeah,
afternoon
this
again to
afternoon
take some
again.
more money and food back
Yeah.
to them, which they will appreciate.
Yeah, Eli's
So-
providing some more food for the kids there. So yeah,
Uh-huh. Well, that's super, tremendous.
yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you
and
very
thanks to everybody else. We'll see you again on another HarvestNet podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We're so thankful that you took the time to listen. If you enjoyed what you heard, please like and subscribe to our channel and feel free to share this episode with your friends. To learn more or to give to HarvestNet, visit the link in our channel description. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at HarvestNet International.